Hello friends, welcome to How to VLAN channel. This is DB VLAN stream. Today in this video, we are going to see how to load a lob data into Oracle database in, in a table in Oracle database. Let's get started. So why did I pick up this topic? So I was in a situation where one of my clients' data grew very big and it's a lob segment which is very huge in the database. I wanted to have a better understanding on the lob, so I thought why not I try loading a lob on my own and then try practicing all the maintenance commands on the lob and to reach a point where I am very comfortable in handling the lob. And so as part of this setup, um, I am loading the lob now. So a lab which is going to contain a lot of maintenance operation on the lob. So this is the first step, loading lob segment in using SQL loader. In reference URL, you can go here and read about this. So how to load a lob into Oracle database. It's a 19C guide. You can read this from this reference URL. I'll post this on my blog. You can take a look. And what are the various methods you can load your lob? So lob loading can be done using predetermined. So the lob segments or the lob fields can be determined using predetermined size fields where the size of the lob in the data file is determined by the fixed length of the record, but it is very complex, but it is very straightforward in terms of performance, but it is very complicated to handle for us to feed in the data because you need a fixed length of data, so you need to do a lot of pre-processing. For the second one, which is delimited, it is very easy, but it has a performance hit on the database data loading. If you have millions of records to load, in that case you will have this delimiter. Oracle needs to interpret the delimiter and load the data, so it takes a performance stall. And lob data in length value pair fields where you will have the first field identifying the length of the lob segment. So say for instance I will have a lob of 5 characters, which means that the first field will be a single digit length. So you will say 1 comma 5 maximum. So 1 identifies the number of characters which is going to be used to identify the length of my lob, which is going to be followed by that. So 1 comma 5, one character to identify the length of the lob. 5 is the length of the lob. So that's what it means. So what is that we are going to pick is, we are going to pick the easy route, which is lob data in delimited fields. And we are going to try two methods. One, we are going to mention the lob segment in the data file, the main data file of the SQL loader, along with the other contents. The other one is the lob file. So imagine lob files, because they are so big in size, that's the reason why we are loading them as lob segment itself. First of all, they are so big that we cannot handle them in the SQL loader's main data file, so you will need a secondary data file. The secondary data file is the lob file. So the lob file can be supplied using a static file identity like we are going to do this time, or using a filler where the filler will act as a variable where you can supply the name of the lob file in the SQL loader main data file, and the data file will reference that will become the secondary data file for the lob segment. So but we are going to use static file identifier here directly on the uh, control file. So we'll see how it happens. As a first step, we need to create the table. So let's go into our lab. We have two screens. This screen, let's say for instance, let's change this color to yellow, right? This screen is a SQL Plus window, and this screen, let's change this to blue color. Right, and this screen is for SQL loader. So you will see this is also Aura 19C, and this is also Aura 19C. Okay, first let's create the table. I'm already connected to the user. You can see I'm already connected to the SQL Plus. I'm creating the table, and this table has resume as my lob, which is a character lob. And let's say we want to examine the table existence. So the first step is done. let's capture the output as we do normally. And the second step, let's describe the table. So you can see here it's ratio CLOB. And now let's assess the segment size and other attributes of the table. Let's see this segment does exist or not. You can see here person table is not created yet. Alright. So why does it happen so? Let me just purge the recycle bin. Because there are objects from my last exercise I did. So let me rerun this command. You can see here there are no lob segments like this time, lob index lob segment. They're there in recycle bin, so I purged them, so they are now away. So there is no person table segment created yet. The reason is I have my deferred segment parameter set to yes. So until any single row is loaded onto the person table, the segment will not be created. So that's the nature, or that's how it works. So it's fine that it did not have the segment created yet. Let's check if the lob is created. It will be. You see here person table is the table name. Column name is resume. That's a CLOB one. And the name of the lob is this. And index. So always be sure a lob segment in Oracle will always be associated with the lob index. Even you don't create it, Oracle by itself will create the lob index. Alright, the chunk size is 8 KB. And you can see here the segment is created. No. Segment is created. This column is segment created and it is no. And is it a secure file lob? Yes. Default is secure file lob. When you create a lob segment fresh in 19C, it is creating as yes. So those are the important ones that we need to be aware of. We are going to have one exercise on the partitioning on lob. So for now, this lob is not partition, but we will see in future how this works as well. So let's go on. Now let's capture this information. Output. So we saw this. Let's check this one. Let's go to the next one. So let's load the lob. So let's go to the SQL developer window. We are here, SQL loader window. This is our first load, right? So this is our first load. And it has first data. So let's take this one. This is our first data. Okay, let me brief you on what we are doing. You can see here we are loading data and the input file is first data.dat and this is the delimiter for the row delimiter, record delimiter, you can say. I don't have any records, so I have only one record, so I don't have to care about that for now. Into the table, person table, fields are terminated by comma. So you can see here it's terminated by comma, and the lob field is enclosed by start lob and end lob syntax. You can see here start lob and end lob, and this is how we load the data. See, I'm connecting to the user which is owning the person table, and then I'm using first load.ctl control file to load the data. So let's load it now. So you can see it is delimiters. Okay, delimiter based loading. Okay, all right, you can see here one row successfully loaded. Let's check if the row data is loaded or not. Let's capture this screen output. So we are done with this step, and let's see any files are created here. By default, the name of the control file is used to create the log file. So what do we get here? It says copyright Data file is this, control file is this. It prints the control file characteristics. Allow all discards. Number of records to load, all records. Errors allowed is 50 maximum. Binary is 250, maximum is 1 MB. Path is conventional. Yeah, it's using conventional, not direct path. Name, okay, start log. So you can see here, first enclosure string is start log, second enclosure string is end log. Data type char char. One row successfully loaded, not to do error. Fail, okay. Read buffer bytes 1 MB. So, alright. Run began and run ended. It didn't even take, it was taking very less time, 0.28 seconds. Okay, so it printed all the information we needed. Now, let's check if the records were loaded successfully or not in the database. You can see here, the record was loaded successfully. This is the record we had. Alright, so just, right. I need to check why this was not showing up here. Yeah, now it printed fine. Alright, so let's take this output. The next one. So this is done. Now let's do this. Let's check the segment size. You can see here person table is a table 0.06 MB and two lob segments are created now. Earlier this were not existing, right? Now you can see because of deferred segment creation after the initial record is loaded, now the segments are visible. Person table, index, lob index and lob. So you look at the name of this 73521. 73521. So the lob segment names are automatically generated by Oracle. You only know there is a lob with a name, column name, resume. But the actual segment identity is created automatically by Oracle. It's internally managed. Okay. You don't have to worry. You just worry only about the column name. Okay. Next, let's check the user log. So you'll see now. Earlier you saw this segment created is set to no, right? Now it became yes because segment is created already. And nothing else has changed. So let's move on. We need to truncate this table because we are going to test the second method of loading the data into this table. So I said about a lob file, right? That we are going to check now. Now let's truncate the table. Yeah, table is truncated. Let's check if it has any records. No records, alright. So let's capture all these outputs. Now let's go ahead and create our second file. So second load file is this. Second control file. Second load.dat. And you see here, it doesn't have the lob information here. Right? And now we need to load the lob information, which is this. This is our log file, okay? You can see we have two records here. You may notice that now we have load data in file second load.dat. That's this file second load.dat. Into the table, person table, fields terminated again by comma. Yeah. If you remember in the second load.dat, we have a comma at the end of each field and then resume file. Second field is identified using a constant which is jk resume.txt, which is jk resume.txt, char which is 2000 bytes. and enclosed by start lob and end lob with a slash and many new line records. So because we have multiple fields in the lob file, so we need to have field separation. That field separation is this end lob followed by a slash n. Okay, just slash n will not act as the next new record. Slash n, I mean end lob followed by slash n only will act as a new line or new record format. And you can take a look here. So there is a slash n here, but it is not going to act as a new record. But end lob followed by a new line record, then it acts as a new record altogether. So let's try loading the information. Let's load using the same method we did. Second load at CTL. You can see this time 2 records were loaded successfully. And let's look at the log file created. So control file is second CTL, data file is this, bad file is this, discard file unspecified, number of records to load all of them, 0 to skip, 50 errors allowed, find the rate of 50, table person table loaded from every logical record, insert. So it's using insert option in effect. So 2000 is derived character, enclosure, start lob, end lob, and you can see here it is these two together starting from here until this. So it includes a new line. Static log file. The log file name is jqresume.txt. 2 rows are successfully loaded. And yeah, 5500, 250 rows, 5500 bytes. Let's compare this against what did we do in the past. How many 255 bytes I think for the first one, right? Space allocated for the binary. Now it's much more than that, and then 1 MB. So it's more or less the same time. Just for the fact, we will see how the first load looked. In the first load, the size of the array was very big. This time 5000 bytes only. Last time it was 1 MB. So the array size means the memory consumption may be more. So okay, anyway, the load finished. Let's look at the table again. You can see 2 records are there now. Let's check the size of the segments. Yeah, person table just the same size because this itself will accommodate more than 2 rows, so it shouldn't be an issue. And segment created as, yeah, nothing has changed. So this is it. So this is what I wanted to show you. I hope you were able to follow my video fine. Let's capture the output again. I hope you like this quick video on how to load a lob segment. In the next videos, we'll see how to load a partition or how to create a partition lob, and then we will go on with the various maintenance operations that we can perform on lob, and then how we can optimize the run duration of the maintenance operation. Thanks for joining with me on this video, and thanks again for visiting How to Learn channel. If you really like this video, please feel free to share your comments and give me a thumbs up, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you. Bye.